Lavender Home Care improves the quality of life for our senior population. For an hourly price, you too can have someone help you live your best life with cooking, cleaning, companionship. On this episode of Decoding Dayton, we climb the historic St. Anne's Hill.
So I'm going to give you a modern snapshot, the modern history. We're not going to go way back, and we're going to pick 1958. 1958, City of Dayton gets the state's first urban renewal project designated, called the East Dayton Urban Renewal Area. And the vision for that was to demolish a lot of stuff. And that's an important piece because prior to 58, there was no Kiowee Street. Prior to 58, there was no 35 East. And think about all of this being connected nonstop neighborhood. So the front door now is Kiowee Street. You can actually see the Steamboat Mansion off of there. South edge here is 35, lots of traffic. East edge over here is the railroad tracks, and I think we're gonna go up there. I want you to take a look at the Bossler Mansion while they're up there.
Okay.
All right, so 1974, Steamboat House is falling apart. The lady, her name is Alice Woodward. She's the godmother of modern historic preservation for Dayton. She rehabbed many, many houses in Dayton. She actually was the force behind saving the Dayton State Hospital property. This is just a year or two after Oregon was designated, and she said, I want to do an historic district here. So this was a grassroots effort. It was really initially surrounding the Steamboat House. And what happened was this, these edges here came together to define the new St. Anne's Hill. So the gateway is, we've got Stivers, historic Stivers School.
Beautiful.
We have, what was the name of this place?
I don't remember.
We'll come back to that. Baumburger.
Yeah.
And I think I've got some historic postcards I'm going to let you guys take a look at. The original Baumburger before East Dayton Urban Renewal. Incredibly beautiful, awesome, cool community place. And we have the very historic Liederkranz Turner, which is the German club. Fifth Street is really the main street of St. Anne's Hill, and I think we're going to do a little bit of walking down the main street of St. Anne's Hill because they have this emerging little downtown.
All right.
We're going to pop in a couple of those places.
Sweet. Stivers School for the Arts is a nationally ranked visual and performing arts school situated in St. Anne's Hill. I've arranged special access for Johnny and I to get on top of the crow's nest for a wonderful view of the city.
I've never been at this point of view. This may be the greatest skyline view I've seen of the entire city. And this is where you can actually get a pretty good sense of how the new St. Anne's Hill was created with the urban renewal area where we had the continuous neighborhood from Liederkranz all the way to Oregon. That was all demolished and rebuilt. Awesome panorama of St. Anne's Hill, and look at the trees. And this neighborhood historic district within a forest. This was the second locally designated historic district. Oregon was the first because Oregon was actually headed towards demolition, and it got sidetracked because the federal money ran out. It was all being invested in Vietnam. So Oregon was saved, and I'm going to say Alice Woodward, with her initial efforts with the Steamboat House, along with Fred Bremer and some of the lifelong residents here, really put St. Anne's Hill on the map.
Before we hit the mini downtown of St. Anne's Hill, Johnny and I check out what's happening on Detroit Street.
This entire street is really iconic, and some of the most outstanding architectures on the street, starting with this French Second Empire Marcus Bossler Mansion, including the two Italianate twin sisters houses, and then a little bit further back you really get into the heart of the neighborhood. Over here too we have the railroad. Hasn't been operational for years. This is the concept of the flight line.
Right.
It would be this
Pretty excited about
long-term
that.
development corridor that would connect a lot of the East Dayton neighborhoods and leverage future development.
Johnny stayed behind to soak up some vitamin D in the neighborhood. I popped in to see Megan at St. Anne the Tart. I love this place. I know about it. Tell me more about it.
I think you love the granola, which we don't currently have right now.
The yogurt and granola
Yes.
with the little honey on it.
Yes.
Oh
I
my
know.
goodness, it was fantastic.
Well, we'll start there. So we rotate the menu a lot.
Okay.
So this is kind of just like a Monday through Saturday. I like to think of it as just like you're stepping back maybe in grandma's kitchen, and there's a lot of nostalgia and coziness. And we like to have a lot of fun with the menu. It's more European style and very seasonally based. So you can pretty much get any coffee espresso drink here and baked goods on rotation. We've got about 15 different options a day.
Okay.
I've traveled a lot over the years, and I wanted to kind of bring a vision for who St. Anne maybe was.
Okay.
And that crosses, all sorts of boundaries of age and demographic, and so that's really who we are as like an establishment, as well as just welcoming all sorts of people. And so we want that reflected in who St. Anne is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then this is kind of cool. So like if someone needs, someone in need, kind of pull it off, right? I mean, it's like paying it forward
and any
type
kind
thing?
of need. If you're just having a bad day, like maybe somebody's here we go. Little Nora has left a juice box for somebody who is smiling. So it's just really a way for somebody to get a boost in the day that might be kind of on the struggle bus for one reason or another. We really have no role to play except to provide this space. So I really enjoy watching the community members give to one another.
I love this window.
Right? Yeah, I don't even remember where I pulled this out of, but I really wanted to, we try to keep everything, the integrity of the building historical as much as possible, given the fact that we had to insert a commercial kitchen into the space. But so where we could bring in some of those warmer, nostalgic elements, we tried to.
Nice.
Yeah, and I really wanted people to be able to feel like they were seeing what's going on and seeing their food prepared. So that's really why we did more of this open concept look.
Well, show me upstairs.
Okay, let's do it. Concept's a bit different up here. It's a little more just light, airy, not too cluttered with artwork and stuff. Just kind of give it more of an open space feel. So that's what we have going on up here. And a lot of people just come throughout the day, sit, do their work, visit with friends. So yeah.
Hang out.
Yeah, hang out.
This seems like a really old building.
It is. I can't remember the exact year, but I do know it's like a mid-1800s building. These are original hardwood floors. A lot, the original woodwork we tried to keep. I think initially it was some sort of grocery store way back in the day. It became a bar. When we first came in here, there was a carbonator in the basement. It was like a behemoth, and a collector actually ended up purchasing that from us and restoring it. And then it was a violin shop.
In St. Anne's Hill, they have the Gem City Cafe. Yes, you heard that right, cats and coffee. Not only can you hang out with these furry gatos, you can take one home too. Here we go. Okay, cats. Come on. Kitties. Find your next best friend here at the Gem City Cafe.
Ah, the cats!
The cats are very cool.
We got to see some kitties.
We got to see a lot of really cool kitties.
This place is neat. Really glad we went.
I am too. This is my first time here.
What should we do next?
Go east, check out Fifth Street Brew Pub. That's where we need to go.
All right.
So Fifth Street Brew Pub is a fallout of the community's desire to create a viable business and really a pub here that we wanted to have, and as it turned out, a brew pub. It's a co-op. That was our mechanism for sourcing funds to do this, because as a co-op it's difficult to get financing, and so we went out grassroots to find out if people were interested in buying into the co-op for $100. And within 3 months, we had 900 or so members of the co-op, and that's when we decided we could go forward. So the co-op became a thing. We started working on it, and we knew we wanted it to be a restaurant. People in the community as well as the city could come to get good quality beer and good quality food as well.
And this fence, this wrought iron fence I'm staring at here with looks like an S and an A on it.
So there's a great resource Dayton has called Dayton Restoration and Reclamation. They do deconstruction and reclamation of building product that's coming down. This was one of those items I saw in their warehouses. We were doing the brew pub, and I saw the S and the A. It's from the Salvation Army on South Main Street is where it came from. But the S and the A for St. Anne's was just a natural, and we knew we wanted to have a nice patio out here, and so it was just the perfect thing to find. The bricks that we used out here came from Dayton View, from a house that was being taken down by them as well. And the rail car that we have in the back there also was repurposed from Dayton Reclamation.
As a St. Anne's outsider, I've kind of viewed this as a catalyst for creating the main street of St. Anne's Hill. And I actually know 2 people who moved here because of their visits to Fifth Street Brew Pub.
Taking a hold of your destiny is why St. Anne's Hill has a thriving community today. It's things like Fifth Street Brew Pub, one of only 2 brewery co-ops in the nation, and Dayton Porch Fest, a music festival that fills the streets and porches of St. Anne's Hill. It started with a woman and a vision for what St. Anne's Hill could be, and now thousands flock to this neighborhood to live, work, and play.
What's next?
I don't know. We'll have to check in with headquarters and find out what's next.
Okay, till then.
Alrighty.